All right. Kia ora, everyone. Are you having a good evening so far? Brilliant. All right. I'm KG, and over the next 12 minutes or so, I hope that we can take a little journey together. I want us to think about the theme of today's event, Break the Bias. I want us to understand how that might look in everyday working environments.
It's been since July since I last swung a golf club, thanks to pregnancy and the birth of my baby, but I'm looking forward to heading to New Zealand in April to play all of the golf. So if anyone here wants to play golf, I'm definitely keen for a Women in Golf Day anytime soon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Growing up as a little Latina in Texas, my mom's voice was always in my head saying, I could do anything that I aspired to do.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, Steve, and thank you very much for the invitation to be here, Rachel. It's a topic that's given me an opportunity to reflect, and I've focused my reflections on two questions, because as you've gathered, I'm the age diversity in the group. So I thought that I would do is, in fact, it was Steve who gave me the impetus for this, because he said, is the world now better for women than it was when I began my working life?
Now, I am an advisor on policy and governance, and I often coach and consult with organizations on leadership development. And I'm a passionate advocate for diversity, equity, inclusion, and sustainable development.
In the later stage of my career, as a new mother returning to work, I think you'll find yourself, and many of you in this room will have done this in the past, you'll ask yourself a lot, is it worth it? Is it worth going back to work? Should I even be working? Aren't I sacrificing time with my newborn son? Missing development milestone XYZ? Going back to what I call outside work, as we all know there's a full-time job inside the home, is a big mental change. How do you balance your home work with your outside work? I'm still figuring this out, I'm 1 month in, but I know going back to a job that I at least enjoy makes it easier.
But in December 2020, my husband and I took a step back and we read a book together. We read Quit Like a Millionaire. And this book was really the segue into helping me understand what a path to financial independence could look like for me, personally, and for our family. And as I dug into more details about simple investing strategies, keeping my expenses low, and trying to really increase my income through progressing my career, my husband and I really realized that we were really fortunate to have made a lot of progress already. And while we had made that progress, I really didn't have a solid financial plan, at least in my head. I was winging it.
I made sure I hired for gender balance and encouraged my teams to do the same. I didn't want my team to be a female ghetto, which would reduce their status and pay and would create a downward pay cycle for the function, as occurred in so many female-dominated industries. I benchmarked our team's performance and salaries against all the external data I could find for GE and Citi. And then I fought for the resources for them, because they did an important job and I didn't want them to work the crazy hours I had. I felt that one of the ways gender bias manifests itself in the workforce is the expectation that women will do the service tasks that take up so much time.
Then, of course, we have the avoidance bias. We all like status quo. This is an evolutionary tactic. We feel safe in the herd. We don't like bucking the trend. So people don't like conflict. What do we do on social media? If someone says something we don't like, if you're in a group where something controversial is happening, if an online fight erupts, what do? We block people. We unfriend them. We exit those conversations. We don't want to pick up fights. That is the conflict avoidance bias. So these are three things that often happen. Have you witnessed this? Are you familiar with all of this?
Thank you all very much for the questions. And can we get one more round of applause for our speakers, please?